guys, welcome to According Low Elo. My name is Dean.
And I'm Tyler.
First thing I want to say is, for those watching, I apologize, having some webcam issues. It's very delayed, so I'm going to look stupid if I'm like talking and it takes a second to catch up. So, sorry. Audio listeners, 100% fine. Today we are going to be talking about the dev blogs and all the other stuff that Riot released last week before the season cinematic. And we're going to give our 2 cents on that. So that should be pretty good. But really quick, we wanted to... Here we go, right here, over on the YouTube. Go ahead and read this comment for us on episode 121.
Yep. Bjorn Leiferdagger. Hopefully I said that all right. He responded to, or they, I should say, responded to our comments about Mundo. They said, you mentioned that you've not been seeing any Mundo, so the nerfs are a bit odd. And I agree, I haven't been seeing him, but I think it really boils down to the fact that he's boring. He's a wall of meat that stat checks you after he gets some items, and that's boring. Meanwhile, some of these fighters are more fun, and people generally don't play a game to win, they play it to have fun. Riot likes to talk about a character's fantasy, and Mundo's fantasy isn't as tangible as someone like Mordekaiser, as you mentioned. The character's OP, but I fall asleep playing them. I'm not going to play them. I'm just going to ban them if they're that bad. And I think I agree with that. Like, excuse me, Mundo is pretty boring. There's not much that goes on with that guy. I mean, he runs at you, he throws his cleaver, slows you, and then he runs around while you try to kite him. And effectively, if he's really, really strong, you do nothing. If he's really, really far behind, he's useless. So I can understand the boring gameplay. There's no technicality there. It's just pretty straightforward.
I think if you get him to like 6 items and he's level 18, he's going to be unkillable, but we know games don't last that long. Yeah, I mean, overall, he's pretty boring. He, like you said, both of you, he just runs at you. He's just the few changes, they got rid of like his like E. Is his E still give 80? Whatever, I don't need to look it up. But like he does, like, they nerfed him, I believe, yeah. Right? But he's, I've seen him in ARAMs and on Summoner's Rift. He's very OP ahead. Like, and again, if a game somehow gets to 50, it's not going to go to 50 minutes, but if it gets to 6 items, he is just unfucking killable. And that is just, he doesn't do anything else.
Right. He throws his cleaver and he hits you with his E. And then
has 7,000 HP.
God, that shit's so fucking annoying. Even, I always want to call it a Giant Slayer. Even Lord Doms never seems to do enough. Never seems to do enough.
Need a Bork and shit for that. Oh, man.
Anyways, I think that's all we got for Mundo. We could sit here complaining about Mundo all day, so.
Yep. Thank you for writing in, guys. If you want, go ahead and comment on the YouTube. We'll read those. Speaking of, really quick, let's give a shout out to the YouTube. We put up a pretty good gameplay the other day.
Oh, it was fun. This was a really fun game. 5 of us playing. It was a really good time, actually.
Oh, this is like the perfect thing. Yeah, it was 5-man. It was back and forth.
Look at that
really
bubble.
Epic.
This was like Dean saying, just get out. Okay, never mind.
I know. It's a pretty
that was a good
game.
Team fight. Yeah,
good team. I was doing support Udyr in the jungle, very OP. But yeah, guys, if you want to go check that out, make sure to hop over to the YouTube channel right here. Just search According to Low Elo. Check out all our videos. We've got some gameplay up, so let us know. Also, give us feedback on the duel, like how we have set it right now. If you're watching the YouTube video, we have that up on stream, so you can see both of us while we're playing. Let us know how you think about that. What you think about that? So,
yeah, and if you hate my thumbnails, feel free to tell me. If you like them, feel free to tell me. But yeah, we are here, like Dean said, to talk about the dev blog stuff that came out right before the patch. They sort of released it all in a flurry, which was weird, because they used to do that all in like one video, didn't they? And they would just like group, it would be like 130 or 45-minute video, but they'd have sections for each group, and this time they just released individual videos. Some of them are 8 minutes, some of them are 15 minutes. So I thought that was kind of weird. Just from the get-go.
It was very odd that they just released a bunch. I don't even know where to start with this, but I guess the first thing we could start with was that quote cinematic end quote.
Oh, that well, it wasn't nasty. It was a.
It was.
I've held this opinion. The video itself is cool. The expectation they set us up for was a massive letdown in what we got.
It was.
I think if that video was on its own, I think it would have been fine. It would have been a great trailer for the game.
It just. It didn't It didn't make me want to like. Oh fuck! I gotta go hop in a game right now.
Yeah.
I know what Summoner's Rift looked like. Cool. It's in a 3D like Unreal Engine 5, whatever the fuck. I'm like,
yeah, Unreal Engine.
Looks awesome, but it's just a bunch of like shoutcasting and then champions weapons, and I'm like, just look at this.
Yeah, why were you using like season 2's casting of Faker shitting on Ryu? That was Ryu, right?
Yeah. Can we just
Does
look
that
at
outplay?
this?
I think it's on. Yeah.
Can we just look at this, guys?
That's a problem.
30 for some reason 33,000 people like this. 271. I even think I'd have to look up. Let me see what the Seraphine video is, because I don't even think the Seraphine one was that bad, and that was fucking bad. Seraphine Spotlight. Let's just to entertain this, because that's the biggest discrepancy I've ever seen. It wasn't even as bad. Like Seraphine's is 67K to 146K.
Yeah. It
was worse than this. Pretty fucking insane, and I think it's kind of unacceptable.
Right. They did release that apology video.
We'll get to that at the end, I think.
Yeah.
It's
at the okay.
We'll get to that at the end. But yeah, that was the other crazy thing. Within 12 hours, they made a tweet with extra things, and then they put out a video. But that's pretty insane. But what I wanted to do really quick is head over to our suggestion where I had asked everybody what everyone thought the cinematic was going to be. I know we already went through a lot of these, but holy shit, no one expected it to be a whole lot of nothing. Everybody was wrong.
Yeah, we all were like, oh, dude, yo, what if we saw these cool champions? And then
Riot said, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, the conversation very quickly turned away from, oh, what do you think you're going to see, to, well, that sucked. That looked like an Unreal Engine fucking trailer that they could have done for literally
I'm pretty sure
anything else.
Was it 2009 when it was called like League of Legends, like something Fate or whatever the fuck? That like original cinematic with like Rise and Kale and everything before the Nocturne one, before Twist of Fate.
Yeah.
Like super fucking old. That one was better than this.
Right.
Blows my mind. And I hate saying this stuff because I'm sure someone probably spent a decent amount of time like rendering that, making that, whatever. But like, come on, Riot.
It just, like I said, if it wasn't the cinematic, I think it would have been well received as just being a video for the game, because it is really well done. I did find some fun in like going through the video and picking out like different weapons or items that belong to different champions. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like seeing Thresh's fucking chain and just the tip of his Thresh hanging down. Seeing Sivir's, I don't remember the name of her weapon, but her little boomerang blade being stuck in the wall. Seeing Aatrox's sword, Ornn's hammer, like all that kind of stuff was cool to see. But like, that looks like a trailer for the game for like to make someone like, hey, check this thing out. Try it now. It
looks like a video someone like made and uploaded to send to Riot to be like, look, give me a job.
Right. It kind of does.
Nothing. Yeah, we can hate on this all day, but we were all wrong.
Very.
No one expected nothing.
Wrong. Yeah, exactly.
No one expected. Yeah, it was. Whew, so you got us there, Riot. So.
Yep. Got you there. Got your hat.
Got your hat. So. All right, we're gonna start off with
Riot.
We're talking
Riot,
about
please.
Yeah, the first video.
What do they call it? Lol, please. This time they got rid of Riot because of Valorant.
Was that true?
Hold
on, let me see.
I think it's called Lol, please now.
I'm looking at their YouTube. Yeah, it does say lol, please. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but it was always Riot, please. So.
And then to bring in the perspective, so while we're talking about that, I'll bring up each video on screen so we can talk about it. So this one, a little more positive, but over half of it, way over half of it was negative.
Yeah, so 60% positive to 30% negative. That's pretty shitty.
So the first thing I want to talk about, or they talked about, was first of all, like a good chunk of this video was just them talking about what preseason was, and I'm like, okay, I get that, I get it, I know exactly what happened.
Hold on, hold on. If we're gonna talk about preseason, I'm just throwing this out there. What was the point?
Well, they changed a
We
bunch of
got
shit to make it more. Well, first of all, the jungle. They want to make it so people that want to try out the jungle can make it a
okay.
little easier time. They did
We
mention.
got.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's say we got one patch. We got those, the big change, and then the one patch of the small changes. And then they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna release the whole season." Oh, and by the way, we're gonna put in fucking 25 changes into the game on day one of the season. Why was that stuff not ironed out in preseason, at least in the second patch
They went
before you
on.
went to the season?
They went on vacation, boy. They
I
didn't
know,
have
but
time to do that.
but like, have they ever done that before? Don't they usually go on vacation? They don't usually leave us like that. I don't remember that happening last year. Do you?
I think was last year
Like,
bigger. I can't remember.
I don't. No, I think the year before that was bigger. The year before that was the Mythic introduction, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And that was huge. But I feel like we had three, maybe even two preseason patches that ironed out a lot of the problems. And on the day one of the season, I don't think we had a big patch that overpowered the fuck out of Rise. You know what I mean? Like, why do that? Usually they wait until maybe fourth, fifth patch or something like that to spice things up a little bit. It's like, why did we not? Why did we just ruin stability at the beginning of the season?
I don't know if you think that's crazy. Just wait till next week's patch with all the ADC changes. Little spoiler there,
Freak.
but Freak is coming in hot with his balance
Fuck it.
changes. But
Let's do it,
that's
Freak.
that's for next week.
Anyways,
So like a lot of the times we like knowing they like giving us a layout for the year, right? Which entitles skins, events, champions. They did not talk about a single fucking event for this year. They did not mention
No.
it once. And then when they
No.
when they mentioned skin thematics, they introduced one new skin thematic, which was this what is it, fairy
I
fairy
don't remember
queen.
what it was called.
It's
but
called
yeah,
Fairy
it
Queen
was
Callista, and then it showed Karma. Like they're two getting to. I'm like, okay, it's like a pre-ruined Callista. Like she looks human. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like, okay, and then the April Fool skins where Kled
Right.
is getting like a dog skin, and I'm pretty sure they showed a screenshot. The other was pretty sure is Kindred. It's like kitty cat Kindred. It's like wearing a onesie with a and that's it. They don't mention any other skin thematics. They don't mention any events.
Yeah,
What is there to get excited for this year?
their deal not being with FTX. That's something exciting.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you, to be honest with you. I'm so lost at what their team is trying to do that I don't know what else to say. It doesn't make any sense, and like it's funny. It's just like look at the notes, and it just says that's it, and that's I think that's how
wrote
everybody
that. I was like,
feels.
that's it.
Right? I feel like that's how everybody feels. I don't know.
Like
It's weird. And then they have one. They have that. Oh, what did I say to you? It's something about that one champion they were talking about coming out, right? But I don't think that was in this video, huh? That was in the.
no, it was in this video because
Okay,
they give an
okay.
outline about it, but we'll get there in a second because I want to do
Yeah.
the ranked. Okay, sure. They're okay. They give us we got this skin and this skin, and then a whole bunch more. Get ready. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's a bunch of empty promises. You probably don't have shit, and you're just like,
Why do that? Why say that?
it's. So okay, sure. That aside, I'm excited to play ranked. We've been playing our placements, right?
Yep.
I guess it makes sense because usually when you go into ranked placements, they put you a full tier below. I ended plat 4.
Yeah.
I got placed in the gold 4. I've never been placed. I've never been platinum, so it makes sense. But I'm like, okay. I'm about 50-50 with my games. I have a bunch of people just fucking running it down. I'm having Karmas build Locket, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's a champion that should be building Radiant Dawn. If you're gonna go tanky, you build Radiant Dawn on that champion. Otherwise,
Virtue.
or Radiant Virtue, whatever. What is Radiant Dawn? What am I? Yeah, the ulti one.
That item is so OP.
That would be broken on her. It's just broken on champions that can ulti for no reason.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
Shape-shifting type champions, if you want to use them.
That's why I was using it on Udyr.
But right.
I have 2 games left. I think I've played 8 out of 10. Where are you at? You made it in the silver, right?
Yeah, I think I only have 4 games. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got 4 wins. No, just kidding. That was the wrong.
They don't.
I also 3 wins. I think it was 4 games.
Also, they haven't reset the when you get out of game at the top, it'll tell you the wins and losses.
Oh yeah.
They haven't reset that. So I'm like, I look at my rank games. It still says like 100 and something wins and like 80 losses from last year. I'm like, Riot.
Okay.
The fuck are you doing?
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, so ranked. Oh, it doesn't even tell me how many of these I've played. Okay, well, I think I played 4 games, and I think I've won 3 out of 4. And I am placed at silver 4 with 23 LP. I was like, I gotta fucking start from the bottom, dude.
It's okay. You could probably
place higher in flex.
If you can win a majority of the remainder of your games, I think you could probably make it to silver 2.
I would love to get to 2 and then just press from there, even though the press isn't that fun.
We can do it, but
it's doable.
Like we mentioned, I think last week's episode, or maybe a previous one, they're doing a lot of changes to ranked, meaning also like you don't have to hit gold to get the Victorious skin now.
Right.
So, okay, before that, the first thing, we've been talking about the anonymous champ select thing, and I've noticed there's a lot less flaming or like talking in general. I think it's a pretty good thing. I was really skeptical about it, but I think it's overall good.
No, it's kind of nice. I rather enjoy people just shutting up and playing the fucking game, dude.
No, it's like someone can't look up another person and be like, oh shit, this person's on an 8-game wing streak, so I'm just gonna dodge now. And I'm like, oh cool, now I have to wait another 5 minutes or whatever. So I think overall it's pretty good.
Right.
Right. They're doing 2 rank splits, so halfway through the year. And there's going to be a soft reset. I'm assuming it's going to be like how... I don't think they said they have to do placements. That's one thing I did not write down.
I thought he said it was a hard reset. Okay, maybe it was a full soft reset.
I think he said soft. But I don't think you're going to have to go as ham with like placements or whatever.
Right.
And then they say the reason they're doing this is to fix smurfing and... players who just give up, because that was one thing I agreed with. Like people would normally hit gold and then just stop playing ranked because I'm like, okay, I got gold, I won't decay because I'm
right.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to keep people playing.
Sure,
it'll keep people from smurfing too. Like if they get to Diamond 1 and they can't beat Diamond 1 people, then they go to a smurf and shit on other people. But now they're gonna reset. Right. You're going to be able to play more games. Completely agree with that.
No, I 100% agree. I thought that was actually a really good idea. And then there's no like mid-year, like you said, no mid-year preseason where they kind of just fuck with shit tremendously.
Well,
and
last year
they might...
we got the durability patch, which kind of came out of nowhere. So, that's always up their sleeve.
I guess if the game is playing in a certain state, then they're gonna need to fix something, right? Because the last year it could have been very stale all the way through. Like easily could have been very stale. They put in the durability patch and it shook things up, which was good. I mean, realistically, we needed it because they were sitting at fucking. I think up until that point, you were still seeing the Janna top strat. They hadn't quite figured out how to fix that, and so I was like, okay, well then, whatever. And what's crazy is this season, which is the first time in a long time we haven't had a super broken strat that's dumb, like, oh, let's take Janna top, or let's funnel the jungler, or whatever dumb strat that's actually been gone. So I will say I think they made some improvements and some good strides. It's just weird because they made the good strides in the gameplay, which is the thing I guess that people don't really notice all the time. And in all the areas where like you have an opportunity to show off, they just missed the mark. And it's just fucking strange. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's really strange to me.
Yeah. The only thing I could see being broken is what we just mentioned with Radiant Virtue on these champions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like it's a 60-second cooldown, I think, but like think of champions that are gonna use it probably have like almost a 2-minute cooldown on all their ultis, whereas like Karma's like 30 seconds.
Right, and then you'll just take the Ingenious Hunter, right? That's still on there, Ingenious Hunter to reduce item cooldown.
That's true. That's a good. I didn't even think about that. It's a good idea.
Dude, I might be the only one who thoroughly loves that rune. I think it's a really good rune. I mean, there's other good runes in that area, don't get me wrong, but I love the idea of like, hey, I've got this item that's got kind of a long cooldown. Like, can I just drop its cooldown by a shit ton? So yeah, I think there's some interesting things, and I think there's a lot of unexplored things which hasn't happened in the past. So that's kind of cool.
So yeah, like we said, there's gonna be 2 skins. I don't know if they're gonna be. I curious if they're gonna be called Victorious. But you're gonna be able. Each rank is gonna give you a chroma, and they didn't explain it to you. I don't know if you've peeked at this. Let me open my client. But I was like, because they said like as you win games, you get points, like ranked points. Right. And it's like 10 per win and then 6 per loss. And I was like, where is this being kept? Have you seen it in the client?
No, is it in your profile?
So yeah, if you go to profile,
yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
You go to profile in the order. Go to ranked, and at the very bottom, boom, you see it.
Yep.
Right. So I was like, okay, that's cool because I'm at 96 points already. What are you at?
68.
Okay. So they said well, they didn't say this, but they basically said you're gonna play a metric fuck ton of games if you're below gold to get the it's like 1,600 points to get to like the skin.
1,600 points. If you're gold plus, you only need 80.
I'm already there. That's fucking crazy.
I see it on the bottom right. If you mouse over that little skin face mask thing, all the way to the left. Sorry, left. That's the bottom right.
Oh,
bottom left,
okay. So it does say Victorious. The more you know. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the fact that you can, that's probably going to incentivize a lot of people to keep playing, even if they're hard stuck. They want to get that skin. So, I mean, I guess that's cool. And then I guess it's cool we're getting, like, rewards here, I guess. I don't know.
Well, what's crazy is you used to get these emotes just randomly throughout the season.
Oh, the rank split ones?
Right. And so it's kind of nice to see that they put them in here where there's a fucking, when you're going to get it.
So,
but I will tell you this: I don't think there's any way in God's green earth of getting 1,600 fucking season points.
You're gonna,
you know how many games you have to play for that.
You're gonna get out of silver. I guarantee you. I guarantee it.
But I like this. Do you know how many games you have to play for 1,600 season points?
Bro,
dude?
There are people that play a lot of game and they're stuck in bronze.
Right.
Rand's
for that long, bro. I'm just gonna find a new video game to play. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Rand looked at me and went like this. Me to herself.
She knew that neon arrow that points right at her, right?
So I mean, I said I wasn't gonna play ranked right away. Fuck that. I'm gonna play ranked right away. I want to get placed. I'm pretty happy. I think I could probably finish if I win my next 2 games. I might be able to get into gold too.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this in the Discord. I don't think we did pose the question of what your like goals are. So I guess we could I just want to read through 1 or 2 of those really quick.
Yep.
Hang in there, guys. It's gonna be a long fucking episode. So you said you want to at least get gold 2. I think that's completely doable. Azap said hit gold before the end of the first split. I think that's doable. Purple said plat 1. No, that's doable.
Purple could do it. That's totally doable.
Sorcery said play more now that there's a skin for each split and see how far I can climb. I'm one of those people that played minimum games to get gold 4 and never touched rank again. It'd be kind of cool to see what my real rank is. There you go. And then Caliente says, I've only been around the game for a couple of years. I just want to improve on my silver 4 peak. I'm easily pleased. Remind me, I'm sorry. Did Calientes play top? What was he playing?
You know what? I don't actually remember, to be honest with you.
Forgive me. I honestly think if you're in silver 4, just play a split pusher top, like literally play Nasus or like Urgot or something. Just don't help your team. Just literally run it down top and you'll win the game. It's that easy.
If you have good enough mechanics, Tryndamere is actually still pretty gross.
Yeah, Tryndamere too. Really disgusting. Um, I am gonna put my standards or my goals pretty high. I think I could hit diamond. If I try hard, I could hit diamond. I really think I can. I want to at least get back to platinum. And then I know, was it Jazzy that made the joke? It was like, what happens if it's not, if I'm not low elo anymore? And I'll be like, I'll run it down a few times. I'll get back to that rank. No, guys, it'll always be low elo. Don't worry.
Here's the big thing: don't kill yourself over it, though. It's not.
No.
It's not worth putting in that much effort. Like, if it's coming and it's frustrating, just do something different.
Yeah, you don't unless you have.
And I mean that figuratively in terms of burnout. Sorry, I should have clarified that when I said don't kill yourself over it. But yeah. Sorry, guys.
Just like if you think. I mean, some people have really good mental, and if you think like if you lose like 3 games in a row and you think you can keep going, just do it. But like, probably figure out when you need to take a break. I need to get better at that. I mean, I don't really have crazy amount of maybe play like 2 or 3 games a night and maybe like 4 on the weekends. But man, there's some people that just fucking play like 12 hours a day, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
absolutely cannot do that. So yeah, best of luck to you guys. Just take it. You can get all these are very. Very doable.
Attainable. So yeah.
All right. So why don't we move on to
the champions? They were talking about the mid scopes and the smaller updates, and focusing more on those. And actually, I'm not mad at that. I think it makes sense, but it was just kind of silly.
I'm just like, okay, what are smaller updates?
Yeah,
They don't tell us anything.
All they really told us was a half-assed description of what defined a mid-scope update, and it just means, from what I could tell, is just making a champion fit more coherently with their fantasy, with what your idea of that champion should be. So, for example, let's see, if I looked at. And this is purely looking at a champion like Mordekaiser of old, and you see a big hulking, and he wasn't as big then as he is now, but you see this hulking walking armor. If you look at that, what do you expect? Just by looking at it, what do you expect from that walking piece of armor?
Like he's tanky?
I expect something kind of tanky-ish. Like he may not be a giant tank, but like considering it's a piece of armor and there's not a body inside of it, on the base skin. This is on the base skin, guys. There's not a body inside of it. There must be some sort of magic going on. And now look at him. He's an AP bruiser. Does a lot of damage, can take a lot of damage.
To be fair, that was a VGU, not a mid-scope.
Sure. But so now you can take that and look at like who got a mid-scope recently. Oh, Nico.
Well, I would say Aurelian Soul, because we've seen...
one. Oh, yeah. Right, Aurelian Soul, perfect. Another great example of like, how do you make this dragon who's supposed to be this giant fucking god feel like a giant god? Because he certainly didn't feel like that. The only godly thing he could do is create that giant black hole with his Q and fly across terrain. But beyond that, he didn't seem very godly. His ulti was super underwhelming. I remember when it came out and he breathed fire. It's like, that's it. The star thing felt weird and not godly. And then they said, okay, well, let's fix him. They gave us what they gave us. You've seen the video. That ulti feels godly, dude. He just dropped a planet on your face, or a star on your face. Like, that feels like a planetary star dragon, and that is cohesion that fits the fantasy, and that is what they mean by a mid-scope. It's not totally changing the identity,
just making it make more sense.
Yep.
With
what the original idea is, or what the idea should be when you look at the champion. Nico's another good example. They show her in the video, so if you want to see that, watch this.
That was on one of the...
Is it this video or one of the other videos?
It was on the dev blog. They had a specific one on mid-scopes, which I guess we could just briefly talk about, because there was not a lot there.
Yeah, is that the one where they said that they like started Skarner and then you realize that they didn't actually really do anything to start Skarner?
That one was still here. Let's finish this one from Riot, please, and then we can just
Okay.
talk about because the Skarner one is a VGU, not a mid scope. So
Right.
so yeah, I guess they literally just said they barely started him. They started doing concepts, and we've known he
Didn't
was
they
getting
give
a
us
VGU.
concepts in fucking July?
Yeah, like
Didn't we get all those like, hey, here's a possible ideas of what he might look like? Didn't we get all that in July? Like,
it was.
excuse me.
It's like just
Do
sketches.
they think we're stupid? I don't know.
So they didn't have a release date. So I'm thinking we might be lucky if we get him by the end of this year, which is like fucking insane. And then the other thing I guess I didn't even notice is they didn't talk about any voting for another VGU. Like Shyvana, Nocturne, what else they have? Kog'Maw, I guess, Cho'Gath. Like, what the? It's frustrating because they go into like talk about how long these take. I'm like, do they? How long do mid scopes really take? I don't think that you're not really.
Well, they went in and said mid scopes don't take that long, which is why they like doing them. Like the amount of time they have to put in is like a fraction.
So they didn't. The Ari one wasn't a mid scope because their abilities are the same, but that was just visuals, and that took how fucking long? That was like 6 months.
Forever. Right.
And it's did it just come out? I think it came out this patch, right?
Is it actually out now or is it next patch? I don't even remember.
I would
R in
look
forever.
I would look in the client in the like the champion like bio to look at all their abilities, but they probably don't update that anymore. So
I'm gonna be frank with you. I really still couldn't tell the difference looking at the videos. I'm like, I don't really know what was updated here, and I just didn't feel like I wanted to dissect it.
Her tails, like the motion of her tails, are a little bit better. She has better voice lines now.
Well, she definitely needed voice lines, dude.
The skin updates look really good because there were some ugly ass ones. Like Popstar looks really fucking good now. But whatever.
That's good.
They take so long. But they said this year they're gonna be having a lot more mid scopes, which again I'm fine with. Just don't take 6 months to get it.
Yeah, please.
They talked about voiceover updates for Varus and Nidalee. Definitely need some fucking new lines there. Because I'm gonna just want to look up how many voice lines Varus has.
He doesn't have that many.
Yeah, exactly.
I just remember him saying like, "Beware, a man with nothing to lose" or something like that. That's his whole thing. Yeah, there's not a lot.
Like okay, that's cool. Why didn't we do that before? Yep. Why? That's the question. Why? There you go.
I don't think because
wait.
Voice is terrible. Like the recordings are terrible, but
how many grunts does this motherfucker?
Yeah, right. Like,
bro, more than at least like half. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
more than half
13,
are
14.
grunts, my guy.
Yeah, probably over.
Yeah, that's what I said. More than half are grunts. And it's mostly just him charging his arrow.
Yep. Oh my god. And
although I will say I'm not against him. Like when he gets to max charge, letting out a grunt while he's just holding it because I don't know if you ever held an arrow like that, but it can be kind of difficult just to hold it and not release. So whatever. But he needs some more theming.
Yeah, like he's a Darkin. Like I don't know. I don't get any voice lines from that. He's 3 people.
He's 3 people, right? He's two guys and a Darkin, and like there's nothing in his lines or kit
that
like I didn't really find that out until that recent video they put out. The
music video, yeah,
a couple of years ago. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm like, what? I had just never crossed my mind because he never talks about anything. Like at least fucking Sivir, you recognize, like she's a mercenary. She says, "Get in and get out and get the gold." Like that's her whole thing. You know what I mean? Like okay, that. I understand where she's coming from as a champion, and Gragas talks about drinking his grog and throwing barrels at people and stuff. You know what I mean? But like, Varus just says, "Beware of a man who has nothing to lose." Like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I know what that means, but like, hell, even Yasuo saying, "One who wanders isn't always lost," is more cohesive to the theme than Varus. So yeah, he and Nidalee.
Nidalee's probably exactly the same.
I couldn't tell you a damn thing about Nidalee. It's the same thing, yeah.
Just like, beware the wild. I'm like, okay, cool.
And then she just roars and she turns into a cougar, so whatever.
Yeah.
Nefiri, the dark mid lane assassin that's supposed to be easy to play. Interesting, because a lot of these assassins, except for maybe Talon, are rather complicated.
Yeah, so I was really confused because they made the poor joke about this being the only shirtless champion this year, but all the other times they were talking about this champion were like referring to it as a canine. Or like a, I think in this video she talks about like a pack of dogs. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
maybe it's changed. Maybe the concept's changed a little bit.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. She also mentioned something about like taking over bodies, and I'm like, have we got another Viego coming or what? Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Starforger, Diverse, blah blah blah, Milo. Okay, we'll talk about him in a second. I was like, okay, let me pause. I don't want to play a better bound action. Blah blah blah. Nefiri, yep. We're at the Adorable Channel. We're moving on to something a bit edgier. I'm down for another Darken. What was the last Darken? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Aatrox rework? I don't know.
Yeah, Aatrox was the most recent.
Sure. So very
Beyond
straightforward. Darken. I want to focus on the hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, look at this. This is like... So why is this shirtless? What does this mean?
Why is this shirtless?
They said... Oh, there you go. There you go. Her new... Wait. This is a female champion, and she's going to be shirtless? I'm so confused. There's no shot.
Rek'Sai is a female champion. She's shirtless.
Sure. Is she? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But like, look, her newfound body or bodies.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we're going to have another soul-taking champion?
I hope not.
Riot did like 3 shots.
I have a feeling it might be maybe a little more similar to Belveth's little...
Like a swarm?
Yeah. I have a feeling that's probably going to be... I don't know. I don't know much about it. I'm just going based off this line. So I'm just thinking... Because you know how Riot likes to do their thing in packs, right? You know, your 3-hit passive era, your reloading era, right? You had Graves and the Jhin immediately with the reload era. They like to do their things in those little groups of where they have similar behaviors, I guess.
I guess we'll see. I'm just very curious. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
The other new champion they announced is it Milio? How the fuck does she say it? Let me see this.
I kind of stopped listening to this video because I don't know. I get to a point where I was like, you guys aren't saying anything. You're saying words and that's it.
Milio. I'm listening to her really quick. Okay, I know you sent me something on Instagram, and it was a child, right? And I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was actually concept of the champion.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like a leak thing.
When was this? When did I do this?
Milio. Maybe you sent it. It was on the podcast one. You sent me.
Oh, the support leak. That's right.
Yeah. So it's a child.
Yeah.
Milio.
Yeah, Ixtal. Yep.
So you have the picture?
Yeah, I do.
Hold it up to your camera. So you guys are looking. He's like a child, male enchanter. It looks pretty interesting. So, and he's like a firebender.
Fire. Yeah, it says new support might be coming after Aurelion Soul rework. Confirmed hints are Little Boy, Fire Healer, and Ixtal.
That's cool. Sounds cool.
It kind of looks, when you look at it, it looks like maybe he grows a little bit.
Like he doesn't have ears in the first one. See that?
Yeah, and he seems to get older. Like maybe he goes from like 5 to 12 years old or so, if I had to guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just like throwing out.
He definitely looks like he
sounds
gets
weird, but right. So that should be interesting. We don't really know a whole lot about Ixtal. That's like a region that just haven't explored, like the Void. So it would be cool to see them explore that. I think we talked about that in the cinematic video that we were talking about. So I'll not go too deep into that because we still got a lot to go here.
Yeah,
and I'm hungry.
Speaking of hungry, they said they'll again only 2 champions that they announced, and then they said there's a hangry jungler and a artistic mid laner. So Is this like
Jin mid?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
like an
shit.
AP Jin. I don't know what the fuck that is. Hangry. So maybe maybe that's the Void creature.
Could be.
Because they
Could be.
promised, they said Belveth was not the Void monster that they were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So
Who knows?
woo! Get excited, guys! For champion, woo!
All right.
Fucking hell! All right.
State of the game.
Oh yeah, this
State
one is fucking great.
Of the game.
I just want to start by showing this clip of this fucking Scion. I don't know if you remember seeing this.
No, I watched everything on 1.5 speed.
Okay. So check this out. Can you see this? You can
Science
see
clearly got, it's clearly
Watch
got
this.
Heartsteel.
Just what? No, it's not even as nothing. If you guys haven't seen this, and if you're not watching, go to the YouTube video State of the Game. Watch this. Watch this Scion. Watch this. Hold on. When he ulties, watch.
They all cute.
Watch. Hold on. What?
What?
What
Wiggle wiggle?
What
He
is
hit
this?
you with the wiggle wiggle, dude.
They showed
It like magneted.
They
to
show
him.
a scripting Scion.
Well, you know why? Is they want to make sure it hit so they didn't fuck it up.
Who for people not watching, it shows Scion ulting, and then he like hits like a 10 o'clock position and then goes back to straight like.
Yeah, he
Look,
juts from
doesn't
10
happen.
back to 2 and then like really quickly. It's weird. He
bro.
moves like a lightning bolt. It's like what the fuck?
Why the fuck are you putting that in the game? The whole comment. Okay, first of all, we can look at this. Again, the like-dislike video is just shit. 4.1 to 6.4. Even Vandrel was over here saying Scion alt looking legit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, kind of sad.
Man, but yeah, that doesn't mean anything. But I thought it was really fucking funny.
It's just funny.
Why the fuck are they putting that in there?
However, okay, so they did talk about the agency of top lane and what impact it has on the game. And with all the tank items, personally, I think it has a lot of impact. But they're saying it's going down in agency. I'm like,
A lot of
I find that
people.
weird, but
Well, that was the reason they were talking about like the changes. So that's why we got a bunch
Right.
of new tank items. There was
Right.
only 3 items, and they were all like Sunfire items.
right, which was stupid. I mean, that was dumb. It's like, okay, yeah, you pick this Sunfire item, that Sunfire item, and that Sunfire item, and then now you have like Iceborne, which Iceborne is probably the weakest of all the tank items, but it still has a slight place.
I think it's slept on.
I think it's stronger than people realize, but I don't think it's that strong. I don't think it necessarily compares to the other ones. And obviously, Radiant Virtue, which is really only usable by like a handful of champions.
It's on the uprise though, I think.
It is. You're starting to see it more in supports. I think that's where it was supposed to be, was for tank supports. But you see it on Braum as like the only guy that really uses it down there. So
Yeah.
they need to tinker with it a little bit to make it more accessible to maybe off-tank champions. Like, I thought it might be fun to try to build on like a Renata, trying to build off of the Locket idea. I don't know if it's the greatest move. It just was something I wanted to try because, like, here's a champion that has a lot of build diversity. Depending on what you want to do with her, do you need to be tankier? Maybe you go this option that's going to heal your team. Do you need more AP? You're going to go this Shirelia's build that offers move speed. So there's some interesting things there with champions like her that should be able to kind of flex into it, but it just depends if the passive is worth it, I guess, for that champion, whatever champion that is.
The other champion I've been playing, I've been trying to rock it on Sejuani because I feel like Sejuani is pretty good.
Right.
You know,
She's gonna
just
use her shit in a team fight. So
ulting from, yeah, exactly. I think it's really good with Sejuani. And then champions that have the ultimates, not like Udyr or Karma or whatever, you know, we've been talking about.
right.
And then, you know, we moved to Jack Show, and Jack Show is really, well, they just changed it, so it's better on tanks.
Right.
It's very good. I did have an Olaf that tried building it. Like, he went like Ravenous Hydra and then Jack Show. I'm like, okay, I guess, but come on, bro. You read the patch notes. It's not good on they want to get it out of the hands of bruisers.
Right.
I totally respect that because it's fucking stupid that a bruiser can do so much damage and not die.
Right.
So yeah, that was like, unfortunately, that's just literally one of like 50% of what they talked about in this video. In this 9.5 minute video, is just they recap preseason again, talked about how no one wanted to play top because the champ pool and the build path, the build, unless you were playing a fighter, if you just played a tank, you just had no fucking options. And then they wanted to improve the jungling, and which was part of the jungle pets. They want to be able to make it easier for people to come in. They have the pathing enabled if you don't know what you're doing. I wish I could just permanently disable that. I don't know. I've been seeing people talk about the jungle pets. Just a side note, like aside from they're literally there just to help people who've never jungled. They're kind of pointless. I've seen clips of the jungle pets giving away its champion's position. Like they're hiding in a brush, and you see the little fucking dude run into the bush after them. Like, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of annoying. I guess I'm in.
I haven't seen any of those clips or anything like that, so that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Just, but yeah, literally. Other than that, they say nothing. They basically say they're like, oh, we think the game is pretty good right now, but there's always room for improvement. Like, can you say anything more basic?
That's just them trying to give themselves a backdoor or an out or something like that. Like, okay, whatever.
I may be wrong, but I did read when all these were getting posted we're recording this on the 16th, but this came out like a week ago. When they were getting posted on Reddit, there were a bunch of Redditors that were like trying to like stop the leaks of these things. Like their boat is sinking and they're like, oh, no, this is what we meant by this. Yeah. Apparently these videos were recorded a pretty good time ago. Like, this was not recent.
Right. They usually record these pretty far in advance.
But it's like, they're like, oh, yeah, the game's fine right now. Looks at 13.2 changes. All these ADCs are getting changed. All these crit items are getting changed. Like, well, you lied about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But yeah, that was the state of the game. It's okay. It's good, but there's always room for improvement. I'm like, yep, we know.
It sure is. All right, next on our list is
your favorite
behavior. This is my favorite one, guys.
You wanna vent really quick?
Yeah, and I'm gonna start at the bottom of our list here just to start. When we think of behavior, this is what we think of anyways. Obviously, inting is a thing, all that other stuff, but behavior typically is in-game chat. And in-game chat that tells you to end hero or KYS or unalive or whatever.
Here we go.
And then racist game chat as well. That happens quite frequently. My problem is when you get creative and you want to say something. I don't know how many of you have actually ever seen Dodgeball, but when Vince Vaughn is playing the Girl Scouts and one of them, hits him and he's out or whatever, he looks at it and goes, your mother doesn't love you or something like that. Like, to me, that's more of a harmless joke. And it's funny to me because it's creative, right? Like there's a level of comedy in that compared to, saying something racist or telling someone to remove themselves from the planet. And it's like when you tell someone like I've told someone that they're adopted before just because I'm like, is that really harmful? No, it's just shit talking to me at least, and maybe I'm wrong. To me, that just sounds like it's just shit talking, like you're adopted and your mother doesn't love you or something. Where it's just like it's just being silly, as opposed to like just telling someone to fuck off or being just an outright asshole. Maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to tell me that, like, hey, dumbass, you're wrong. And that is worse than this thing or that thing or whatever. But I feel like they're just missing the mark on behavioral goals and behavioral reprimanding. The amount of times I've been berated in game for not saying or doing anything, and it's like, where was the punishment for that? This guy just sat there and called me a fuck ass all game. Like, hello? And I could turn around and be like, yeah, your mother doesn't love you, and I'm the one who gets in trouble. Like, excuse me, did you read chat? Do we know what happened in this situation before we just made a decision? So I think they've missed the mark. I know that they did go on this video to talk about inting as well. But again, if you guys, here's my big gripe, and and maybe I should talk about the inting thing first, because they did talk about how they made their system more robust to capture inting, which is interesting in and of its own right, because I said they have a 200% overall increased overall detection rating. But like, what was the first number? Would you catch 1 out of a million? So you caught 2 now, or 3?
That's
so,
exactly.
Of course, it's 200%. Like, I could fucking make anything sound great if I take the smallest sample size. So that was dumb, but it just makes me annoyed, because you get these people who have summoner names like the Cool Kids Crew, spelled with all K's.
Man,
like you let that through, and
what?
you're complaining about inting?
What game was it? I think we won it, but like, holy shit, it was like,
Oh, some guy kept saying he was wanting to praise Hitler.
that was that like, one, but maybe it's not on here, or maybe it was on my other one. But it was all three. So we played.
Oh,
we played. Was it flex or solo? It had been solo queue.
I think it was solo queue.
It was like something like a KKK name, and then one was I beat women, and then like women assaulter or something. I'm like,
yeah.
If I tell someone they're a fucking idiot, I'll probably get banned. But
but your name could be I beat women.
I have no problem unless you're saying something that's meant to like put harm on yourself, or just like racism, homophobia, any of that. That's what should get banned. If we're just talking about like written or verbal or whatever. I don't care if someone calls me an idiot. I'll call you a fucking idiot too, you asshole. I call people donkeys.
We're all fucking idiots.
I type donkey because they're asses. I'm like, you're a fucking donkey, dude. So it's like, but people will just, or they'll like space words and they'll think that gets. I'm just like, dude, you're fucked, dude. Like,
yeah,
but
they get around it, and it passes the filter. I'm like, how are you gonna tell me you're gonna make an inting? Not a mechanic, but an inting system that can catch inting, but you can't catch the most basic readable things in fucking summoner names.
But like, there's also those times where people are talking shit, not being racist, not being any of that. They're calling people morons, but then they actually play. They will play. That's great. I don't give a shit. It's just the people that talk shit and then they give up.
Yep.
Look at both of that. Like, just look at the inting problem. Okay.
I've also noticed a lot less in-game. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was done with my statement.
I was gonna say I've noticed a lot less in-game mutes from the system as well.
I have not seen that once. The like
I've seen it a couple times when it first came up, but it's almost like they turned it off.
I don't know. And
how do you get a chat ban without picking one of those up first? That's my question. Shouldn't that be the precursor?
It should be. It definitely should be.
Yeah. So I don't know. I actually don't understand that. But
Riot. Yeah. Then they go to talk about champ select reporting, and I swear to God, they said it didn't do any. It didn't mean anything last year.
Right. But they did say toward the end of last year to keep submitting them, because they were trying to. It's like, hold on, I'm trying to see something. But then that's how I felt when they said, yeah, just keep submitting them, and that's fine. Keep, I
think it's mainly there to make you feel better.
Right, but I think it is collecting data in some way, shape, or fashion. I wonder if that has anything to do with int detection, because sometimes you can tell. You've been in lobbies where someone's talking and you're like, this person's just gonna int because they're talking too much. So I wonder if that maybe has anything to do with maybe some of their int detection, and it may not be directly noticeable that they're gonna do something about whoever it is, but like, I wonder if it has anything to do with like, oh, we caught this, and does it correlate to this, or is this a causation or just a correlation? You know what I mean? And to analyze that data further. So I almost wonder if it has to do with that.
Well, they also mentioned they don't want to. So when they talk about intentionally feeding, they try to like assume a person's intent, and they don't want to do that. And I'm like,
it's very difficult.
It's very difficult. They throw out these statistics. They said 95% of the player base is occasionally disruptive.
Right.
That's a what? 5%. does that mean 5% is always disruptive? So 5% of, if you take the whole global population, that's still a fuck ton of people, right?
Right.
But come on, like maybe like throw it out there. So you're telling me every 95 people I interact with, only 5, like there's still gonna be 100% of the people are disruptive, but only 5% of them are a little more disruptive.
Fix that 5%.
I know it.
Well, I think that like I think what they're trying to say is that like 95% of players are gonna have a moment where they pop off at the mouth, and I think that makes sense. I don't know. That's just like, to me though. That's just what is that saying? Like 75% of stats are made up on the spot. Like, like yes, that's a joke to call attention to the fact that I just made that stat up. But that seems like, let's just grab a number out of the air, because I think they're probably right. I'm sure that there's a point in time where everyone's been disruptive in terms of popping off of the mouth or inting or be like, fuck this guy, dude, or fuck this game. I'm gonna do blank, and it's I think everyone's probably done that. Like, if I'm just gonna sit in base, fuck this guy, and sitting in base is kind of disruptive, but that's like being disruptive because someone else is disruptive. So I guess we're all disruptive at that point. Like, I don't know. I just 95%, I guess, makes sense. But there's no data to back that number up. I'll tell you that much. There's no data to back that number up. It's just like we just grabbed this number out of thin air and we're gonna just put it here.
All right. The next. Well, there was 3 more things. 2 of them were quotes, and I need you to help me understand these.
Okay.
I actually misspelled that one right there. So the first one was, we found that it's not about one approach of punishing all those really disruptive people.
So there's multiple approaches. In what I don't understand is why they would even say that, this is punishing all those really disruptive players. So they just don't, like, I don't know, different kinds of bans.
I think
IP ban.
if they're the really disruptive people, just fucking ban them.
Right.
What else are you gonna? Okay, sure, you're gonna have a chat ban, but I'll assume, because Riot likes to assume. I'm gonna assume really disruptive means you're extremely like racist, whatever fuckhead in chat, and you're running it down.
Right.
So
that's gonna be the person that actually takes a 14-day ban.
But there's not just one way.
Really disruptives. Yeah, I don't understand what else you do. All right, move on to the next one, because that one doesn't even make sense.
This one's great. Reducing bad does not create more good any more than reducing sodium in your diet doesn't make our food more nutritious. Let me see if I can find it here. Also, hold on. The dude in this video, his Riot name is Zero Impact. You tell me the dude that's at the top of the behavior system is called has zero impact. It's so fucking funny, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this shit up. You can't. A scriptwriter could not make this shit up, man.
Zero impact, baby. Well, and I'm looking for where he actually says it, because I'm pretty sure I know I wrote it down like line for line. Oh, here we go. Was this it? Hold on. So players really see the behavior that causes disruption. Don't care. Where the fuck is it? Did he say it at the end?
So there is a point to that, though, right? Reducing the amount of bad does not ensure that there's more good, and I will agree with that statement. I think that's right. His analogy's terrible, but the statement makes sense, right? Like, just because you're reducing bad doesn't mean more people will start being
Here we go.
Either.
Yeah, reducing bad does not create more good any more than reducing bad does not create more good. Sure, but it still reduces bad.
You're right, but I think what he's getting at is they're trying to incentivize more good, if that makes sense. So I don't know how you, in the online world, in a game like this, like similar to Call of Duty, how do you incentivize good behavior? Obviously, they try to give you skins, or they try to
honor. Yeah,
honor doesn't really do it, right? Because honor is avoiding being punished, but it's not really incentivizing you to be good. It's just incentivizing avoidance.
It's
right.
and I mean, I can weave this in because this was my other point. You honor whoever carried the hardest most of the time,
That's typically what ends up happening,
and
anyways.
you can only honor one
Unless,
teammate.
right, every once in a while, I will like if my top lane is just getting shit on, and they just hang in there, and then we win.
Sure.
Like, yeah, bro, I see you. I see you, my top laner who got fucking beefcaked, and I appreciate you for not running it down and giving up, and at least playing like you have an opportunity to win, because it's very easy to say fuck this and flip your keyboard or go full trick 2G and just slam your keyboard and walk away. So there are times like that, but the times are few and far between, and that's because I don't play a whole lot of solo queue, because playing this game by yourself is typically extremely fucking frustrating, which is probably part of the reason that they have a problem. Maybe incentivize duoing more or something. I'm not sure, but you do notice in the games where you're playing with 5 of your friends, there's like zero toxicity, unless it's toward the other team, right? And if you have all chat off, then there's just zero toxicity.
It's crazy.
It's almost like if you had friends playing with you, you behave better. But I don't know how you do that for a solo queue environment.
Sure.
So
It's difficult.
I'm not claiming to know the answer, and I'm not claiming that their answer is wrong. We don't even know what their answer is. They didn't give us that. They just said that the idea of reducing shitheads or eliminating shitheads doesn't mean that more shitheads can't just show up. So I guess with that, I'll buy that.
I'll just end on this last comment right here, which I think is pretty much sums up this whole fucking video. If my browser can work correctly. It said, let me scroll down, where you at? It's impressive that after 11 years, Riot is still prioritizing verbal toxicity over griefers in a game that has a mute function.
Right. And that's where we're going to leave that.
So we talked about the mid-scope.
About mid-scope, and we know about Nico.
Or I guess we didn't talk about briefly what they showed of Nico.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's been out for a couple weeks now, and she's just more or less not going to... Can she still change out other champs? I don't think she can change out other champs now. I think it's just changing into environment pieces. They basically turned in...
I think she can still change into champs. She can change into anything now.
Okay. They basically gave you... what is it? Hide and seek in Counter-Strike or whatever?
Oh, right.
Where you turn into objects and you try to hide, and that's like a mini game if you play Nico. And that's a fucking thing. That's basically the only thing she does now, I guess, or the only different thing she does, I guess.
So yeah, looking at this, so she kind of like has an Ivern thing where she like
takes the essence of this thing, destroys it.
This is pretty wild.
You know how much patience you have to sit there like that, dude?
You can become a fucking minion, bro.
I think that's cool.
That's going to be very interesting.
Again, I don't know really what to think of it, and I don't even want to spend a whole lot of time on it, because I know we've been keeping you guys for a while, and we still got one big piece to go.
Yeah, their apology. So, yeah, so that was everything that came out on the Monday, whatever, or the Tuesday, when the season started. Which we didn't even fucking know what day the season started, because leading up to the night before...
a couple times.
So within 12 hours of the cinematic getting released, obviously the whole community like went nuts. A lot of hate. They made a tweet talking about things, and then a couple days later they released a Twitter video, like a 7-minute video, whatever. We're not gonna watch it.
No, but we are gonna end this thing on a good note, because there are some good things that came out of this apology video. As much as I thought it was kind of cringy. Go ahead.
I will be very honest. The notes I have in our doc to like look over this, these are just copied from a Redditor's post that wrote TLDR.
Which is fine, because I actually watched this video a couple times, maybe 3 times even. The first time I watched this video, I thought to myself, this is the worst fucking apology video in the world. There is 2 guys sitting here in front of their desks, and we know that Riot could totally put them in a fucking studio. I'm like, so you're trying to make me feel bad for you by putting them in front of desks, which I don't like. I'm like, you're setting me up to make me feel bad for you instead of explaining to me why I should feel bad for you. So at first I thought that was annoying, but okay. They tried to make it look candid. Sure, whatever. And then they went on with this really somber tone. Really didn't have any energy. And I'm like, dude, now you're just bringing the whole thing down. Like, I get it. You're trying to make an apology, and like, you can't really be excited and make an apology. But I think there's space in a video from a company such as Riot that has a pedigree of making good quality products. And I'm going to caveat that I don't care what everyone's opinion is. This game is popular. It is a good quality product.
It is.
Regardless of all the bullshit we complain about, all the dumb, stupid things, it's a good quality product. And they have a pedigree of doing that. They did it with Wild Rift. They've done it with CFT. They've done it with Valorant. They've done it with what is the Blade of the or what is what is the Blade of the Ruin? Yeah, Ruin King. They did it with that game. So they have a pedigree of making good quality products. That's undeniable. They came out here. They put out a shit quality product in terms of the cinematic, and with the LCS changes and all the things going on in the North America side, just even the North America side. And they came out to tell us it's a priority, which to me feels... This said League is a priority, which to me feels like a crock of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, because everyone's like, all right, well, their budget took a shit. Their budget, like you just listed all those games. Like, Valorant is their baby now, man. Like, that was, I think, one of the reasons, if they said it or not, that why LCS is moving to Thursday, Friday, because Valorant is going to be on the weekends. So the whole community was like, oh, they don't really care about League that much. They're not pumping that much, like, not getting, or people, people are waiting on this MMO that's going to take fucking 69 years to come out. So, I mean, they immediately had to state League is still is their priority. Okay.
And they did have to state that. I think that was important to state, even if I don't believe them.
Sure.
Even if I don't believe them, when they're outlining
excuse me,
an apology, an apology and trying to tell us what they want to do better, you have to start with your faults, right? You have to start with what is the perception that we just put out there, right? And the perception they put out there, because we are the customer, perception is reality. Perception they put out there is that League doesn't matter and it's insignificant. Whether or not they intend to put that out, they recognized that's what came.
I think that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest part about these, is because they're still not doing any. They're still just telling us things, and now we have to. They're asking for us to trust them.
This part is what I do like. This part is what I do like, and this is what took me second and third watch to kind of catch, is like they're out here, and I understand why they're somber. Like I said, it's tough to be like a more high energy, and I get it, because they're just disappointed that we fucking hated everything they did, right? We didn't like a single fucking thing they did. So I get it. That makes fucking sense to me. I can't complain there when you taking some understanding, but they gave us things that they wanted to do, right? So it's a staffing issue, rebuilding, whatever, fuck it. I don't care. I get it. Shit happens. It could be out of their control. Fine. The one thing that I did like is that they put out, we will try to be more transparent about our expectations. And I think the transparency is fucking huge. I think that gets forgotten about in not just this company, but a lot of companies, the transparency of like, what are we aiming to do? And then you have an idea like, did they hit the mark? Can I judge based off the fact, can I judge based off the fact that they hit their mark, or that they missed their mark, or that they were close to their mark, or way off? You know what I mean? Now we have a target. Now we have a bullseye. This is what they want to hit, but it's a dartboard, so it could get bigger, and you have different areas. Sure, if this analogy makes any sense, go ahead if you have something.
I've seen a lot of people saying this, and I even talking to Ryan about this, because like, if like a month ago in December, if they would have said, hey guys, we know you get hyped for this big beginning of the season cinematic, because like every year they raise the bar on their shit. Like,
yes, they do.
It's always like next level. If they would have just literally just said, hey, like, we're kind of moving some things around, there's some staffing issues, whether we believe it or not. If they just would have said something, our expectations probably would have been smaller, and we would
Right.
this community would not have been as upset. Because like at the end of the day, sure, like everyone's upset about a cinematic, but it's like they said, "Oh, we're gonna make sure we have a cinematic next year." I'm like, okay, that's great. That's fine. I can get. I probably won't believe them. I'll wait. Seeing is believing, but like,
Sure.
just like the cinematic was just. I think that was just the biggest thing that took the brunt. But like, there's just so many things behind them, the other issues that were just fucking up, and just tell us. It's not that difficult. Like
This is the transparency piece, and I get it from their side because, well, you just looked at all their dev blog videos and all their videos that have more downvotes than thumbs ups or whatever. And when you are feeling the heat of your community, it can be difficult to want to come out and explain something like that because you're like you're scared of the backlash, and that's understandable, right? If you walked up to someone that you think is probably upset with you, it's pretty hard to fucking address that situation. Like, it doesn't matter how much of like put on your big boy pants or whatever. That's a difficult situation to address in any way, shape, or form, and they're addressing literally millions of people. Like, hey, we fucked up. That does take some balls, I will say. I'll give them some credit on that. Now, they are a fucking corporation, so you lose a little bit of credit just for being a corporation, so I don't really care. You have a bajillion fucking dollars here, okay?
The funniest
don't
fucking
come to me
thing-
acting fucking sorry for your goddamn selves.
The funniest-
I don't feel sorry for you.
fucking thing I saw, because they're like, oh, we were tight on a budget. Someone's like, someone needs to release the nuke that is Pool Party Ari, so they have a budget now. And I'm like, it's time to release the nuke, Pool Party Ari. And I'm like, okay.
That was so good. That was so fucking good. I love it.
Yeah, transparency, it's very simple, but it's maybe they're just scared of more backlash. But it's like,
that's 100% what it is.
It's obviously, it's probably going to be bad either way, but it's going to be less bad if you just tell us up front.
Yeah, you start tempering expectations and you're going to get a better result.
So like,
you could have told us, hey, you tried to change it up for this year for something else. So they didn't even tell us that. It's like they just tried something and it didn't work. But like, if they would have said ahead of time, hey, we're going to try something else this year,
sure.
We'll see what happens. Like, that's fine. I'm cool with experimentation, but like, tell me that's what you're going to do, and I'll have a more of an open mind, I guess. And maybe it's us. Maybe it's us for not having open enough mind to understand, hey, these things can be different. But it sucks because we come to expect a certain level of
it's quality. Like
quality.
Yeah,
quality.
For sure.
And we didn't get that. And we felt betrayed because a lot of us that have played this game have been playing for quite a few years. And when you go and look at how much money you spent on this game, you're like, bruh, I've given you how much money and you couldn't figure this shit out, dude? Like, I've given them more money than I've given Call of Duty. Let me put it that way. And that's part of that is because I fucking quit Call of Duty. That game is a pile of honking dog shit, but that's a different story for a different time. I've given this team and this game far more money than I've ever given Call of Duty. And Call of Duty manages to pump out a new game every year that's generally, in most aspects, even if it's only slightly better than the last, it's generally better than the last game, the previous game. May not be on launch, but by about 3 months, it's usually better. Maybe 4 months, and that's fine. I mean, they're releasing a whole new game every time. League of Legends is not releasing a whole new game. They're editing their game scripts and adding extra things to it when it's based off the original engine, pretty much, I guess. But
I think
my point is they've collected a lot of fucking money to be goofing off.
And just like we'll move on from this. Just one more point, but like. The quality is very high. I think overall we're spoiled with the content they give us.
Sure.
At least like in game, like they have a fucking virtual band. They have virtual bands, plural.
Right.
Like they have all that shit. They have wonderful cinematics. Like they have Arcane. Like, could you imagine if if this was last year after Arcane came out, or I don't know. Like they can definitely do better. And at the same time, I can kind of understand, like, I don't know, maybe there's probably people that are always like, I want to expect best fucking thing in the world. Like, I want to be one-upped, you know?
Well, they've put us in that situation from having done, like you said, they've always done that. And the CEO said that, this year is going to be bigger than last year. It's always the biggest year, which is cool. It just doesn't feel like it right now.
Not
and
yet.
and maybe we're jumping the gun. Maybe by fucking March or June, we're over here like, oh,
We're gonna be playing League in Unreal Engine 5.
but you know what I mean? Like maybe something else comes out, and then we're sitting here like these fucking idiots, and then we'll look back in December and be like, remember how we all overreacted about this fucking cinematic, and then they gave us this fucking cool fucking, or you know what I mean? Like, it's very possible that could very easily happen, and I do think we should keep an open mind as a fan base and a player base. I know there's a lot of notes here about the esports and meta and stuff like that, and I don't even know if I really want to get into that because I feel like it's very easy for us, especially as a fan base of this company, to just shit all over it because it's easy to do. I think the tougher thing to do is to actually have some appreciation. Like I said, when I first watched this video, I thought this video was a fucking joke, and then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, this makes sense though. Like if you put yourself in the position of the people that don't make the decisions, because those are the ones that are giving you this video. Those are not the people that make the decisions at Riot. Those are people that make some decisions, sure, but they don't make the overall decisions. And they're there telling you like, hey, we recognize that we didn't do our best and didn't put our best foot forward, and we recognize that you recognize that that's what happened. And I think it takes a big group of people to do that, especially if they're not the ones that made that decision. So, like I said, my initial reaction was this video sucks, and my secondary reaction is there's some really good tidbits that I think we should be appreciative of, and I think that's all I gotta say. Like I guess I accept your apology, but like be better. I expect better, and I think that they're fully capable of it. And yeah, just do better.
It's I don't want to say like obviously they don't have like as we it's going to be hard to believe. Like they said they're going to have more regular communication from producers and dev teams, which is great. I know they have what are those little blog like they have like
dev blogs and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's like quick thoughts or whatever. Like to me, you can put out a 10-minute video every month, just quickly go over things and maybe
should
that sounds very doable. But it's like they put was it Medler and I can't remember the other guy's name that was on that Twitter video, but it's like they're literally taking the brunt of all the backlash. They're like, all right,
they
guys,
are,
and it's probably insanely stressful.
I believe it probably is, and they haven't really let us down on a scale like this before. So like, we should have an open mind to be like, yeah, this probably isn't going to happen again.
I don't want to say like, obviously they don't have a limited amount of chances, but like, man, this player base seems pretty feast or famine.
We are harsh players, that's for fucking sure, dude.
So they're asking for our what's the
support?
Word? Not support, like our trust. They're just asking for us to like believe in them that they're actually going to deliver.
Right, that's for that olive branch.
Yeah, there you go. So it says, fingers crossed. I'm hoping some good. They talked about a new game mode coming because we're starved on game modes. I'm sick of fucking playing Earth and one
Give
for all.
Give me Nexus Blitz back, motherfuckers.
They're never gonna bring
just
that back.
Give it back. Well, fuck Earth.
One last note because I know it's an almost hour and a half video.
Yeah. Quick note, I'm fucking hungry.
Me too. Rand's cooking dinner. They said Nexus Bliss was supposed to come back at the end of 2022 and it didn't come back, and they said it got delayed. Some dumb fucking reason. I don't remember why. They said there's a new game mode that's coming this summer. It's a 2v2v2, 4 teams of 2 deathmatch. That sounds fucking interesting. They said there's going to be another summer event, but it's not going to be that like dating simulator kind of thing, which is cool. So it'll be a little bit, if there's a story, I can actually pay attention and not just
coming this summer.
It's two brothers.
Two brothers. I love it. You knew exactly where I was going. But old women, they're coming.
There's a lot of weight on their shoulders now, and I hope to God they deliver. So that's it. I'm done talking about this. So
no, sorry to keep you guys here forever. Thank you if you made it this far. I hope you had some fun, and I'm sure you probably have your own thoughts about some of these. Feel free in the comments below the video, wherever my camera is.
Yep.
You can put them down here. You can put them over on the Discord, wherever, if there's a link somewhere. Maybe there is. Maybe Dean can put a link maybe up in the corner up here, right above my finger.
Yep.
You can put a link right there. The Discord right there. Instagram, which we're covering the Instagram logos on this thing, so it's over there somewhere.
Just hit that link tree. Find the link tree in the bio.
Yeah, hit the link tree.
Everything is there.
Boom. There's a lot to talk about, and you don't have to go to Reddit and listen to other people be assholes about your opinion.
Right.
We actually, even if we disagree, are willing to have that conversation. Redditors and other people are not. So feel free, if you're scared to go there, you can post your opinion here. It will be a good topic of discussion. A lot of you guys have been doing that recently, and I can't even fucking keep up. So thank you for that.
Right. So yeah, guys, like the video, share the video, sub everywhere. We appreciate you listening to us. This is a long one. We'll probably be back on Friday for a champion review. So get set for that. And then next week, again, we're talking about a bunch of changes for ADCs coming. So that's kind of excited.
Fuck ton of the patch notes. Freak left a big video if you guys want to preview. Because he's the one working on that personally. I thought it was an interesting video. I do recommend the watch.
Yep.
Watch ours later, but I recommend the watch because it is interesting.
He's giving Caitlyn more mana. You have no mana? Okay. So yeah, guys, we'll see you on Friday. Enjoy your week.
Later, y'all.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Click right here to see the previous episode of the According to Low Elo podcast. Click right here to see the most recent gameplay video. Thanks again.